Yo guys, Tommy Roney here, bringing you another video, and in this video guys we'll be talking about my journey on how I became a pro in FIFA 20 and what kind of steps you have to take to kind of put yourself on that level. Because honestly, believe it or not, although you may think it is an exclusive group of people, there will always be more. The talents keep coming and going. It's just how everything works in life generally, guys. It's an industry like any other. But guys, before I get into the video, if you're new to the channel, and you kind of want to see this kind of content, you want to be seeing pro tips on how to improve, how to be good at defending, good at attacking, guys, all of that kind of stuff, then just subscribe to the channel just below, and remember to like the video, comment what you thought of the video. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. I'm always going to reply in the comment section. This applies to any of my videos, guys. But let's get into it. In the background, I'll just have random weekend league footage whilst I talk to you guys. You can play this in the background if you want. This is all up to you guys. And well, first thing, guys, you got to understand the process. Alright, you got to understand the process of how you compete, I'm going to be speaking from the Xbox perspective. PlayStation has a lot more tournaments going on because of the deal between Sony and EA. But I'm going to talk from the Xbox perspective this time around. And the PlayStation side, honestly, is literally pretty much the same. There are small tournaments on the side that you would kind of get to know exist because you're kind of in the community and so on. But I'll get into that point. Guys, first of all, what's the process? Well, each year it's kind of since FIFA 19 it's been the same. You get 27 wins in one weekend league, which is Elite 1, 27 out of 30, and then you're verified. You get an email from EA saying you're verified. This is if you signed that form that they bring out at the start. Like, it's usually around the first weekend league or just past it, and they basically tweet out this form and they say sign it, guys, if you want to be part of the global series, pro network, and all that kind of stuff. So once you sign in and all that and you get your 27, they send you an email confirming, saying well done, you got your wins, you're verified as a player now. And then you just wait for the first qualifiers, and all of that is obviously always set out in the terms and conditions of the global series application that you send out. It's all there, all the dates, when you should receive your email, who to contact, obviously, if you're having problems in terms of getting this sorted out, because it's usually done on a page called Battlefy, and usually the process runs very smoothly from my experience, but I know other people, there's sometimes disputes, some people want to cause problems, but that is all dealt with the admin on Discord, which you'd be invited to anyway. So yeah, guys, honestly, in terms of all of that, don't worry, the process is simple. Get your 27 wins, and you're there. Then you just have to qualify through phase 1 to get into the phase 2, and the phase 2 is the best players are the best. That's where I made it this year. And yeah, very difficult, guys. It's not easy at all to make it. It's a very grueling process. That's why I'm giving you this video, to kind of make you aware of what's going on. And yeah, guys, phase 2 is where all the big boys are, really. And after that, it's just about qualifying for the event. Any other events you want to be aware of is obviously your nation's E-League tournament. So for example, in England we have E-Premier League, where you can represent your club, the one you support. If I'm correct, I'm not 100% sure. In Spain they did the La Liga. There's a E-Liga 1 in France. There's a Eredivisie in Netherlands. There's a E-Bundesliga. Those kind of ones. You just sign up to, and every one of them has a different process. All I'm aware of is the E-Premier League, and that's the only one I'm really fully aware of. But apart from that, you're just on the menus trying to get better at the game, really. But once you learn that process, guys, one of the most important things you have to be aware of is kind of being in the community, right? So if you go onto my Twitter down below, check the people I'm following. You want to make sure that you're up to date with everything that's going on. If there's a new patch out, you want to make sure you know the meta. You want to make sure who the big guys are, who the good players are, because you can watch them on Twitch. You can see their YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to my channel, guys, because I'll be bringing out lots of gameplay analysis, lots of tutorials on how to improve in defending and attacking. And these pro tips are different, guys, because there is something called natural ability where you're good enough as a player. You know, you have the football awareness, you have the football IQ to perform some of these things. But at the end of the day, you need to also know what the meta is. You know, you need to know what kind of opportunities you want to put your players into to always make sure you can score a goal. Because efficiency is one of the most important things as a pro player. And if you kind of learn this process of how to defend and how to attack, then it becomes so much easier, guys, every game. And you can start to face the more difficult players and realize that you can actually stand your own ground against them. You know, and that's the process I had for me. You know, learning from the top pros, you know, watching their videos, not even just all the top pros, but even some pros that you've never heard of before. Like, it's always good to learn from different people, if you get what I mean. Like, I can bring you one style of defending or attacking, but then you can watch Tex or a Huge Gorilla and they'll give you something completely different. And that's why it's important to watch a few people. You can't ever just watch one, right? And it's because at the end of the day, they're only going to show as much as they have time to show you, if you get what I mean. So if you watch the streams, you're probably going to be able to really pick up more cues than if you're watching a YouTube video. But at the end of the day, you have to create your own style with that, right? You pick and choose from a few people and then you apply it yourself through practice. And that's my next point, guys. Practice is probably one of the most important things ever. Each FIFA I play over 2k 3k games. As harsh as it is, without, well, anything in life really, if you don't practice, you're not going to get there. So yeah, it's difficult, especially at the start of FIFA, because you want to master the new mechanics, right? You want to be able to know what's good, what's not, what players to use and stuff like that. You have to really kind of bang out the game, if you get what I mean. You have to just be on the game pretty much all the time. It's a sacrifice you have to make at the end of the day if you want to be a pro. You have to be serious about it. It's like anything else. People want to mock it and say it's not real, it's not a proper job or whatever, but at the end of the day it takes a lot of time, a lot of, you know, your mental capacity to be able to perform, you know. And yeah, I remember the first 2 weeks are always hell. If I remember correctly, I go through before the first weekend league, minimum 200 games, 100 to 200 games, and that's tons, guys. Every day I'm playing tons, like over 15-20 matches, drafts, rivals is brilliant at the start before all the noobs get up to the higher divisions undeservedly because the meta changes. Remember that, guys. Rivals is good practice around the start. If you get to the top tiers, like if, I don't know, it was around January, the January qualifiers in FIFA 20, when I made like really high in division rivals, I was only facing top players, you know, Zelonius or Lelito, you know, top players, and it was good practice because we all were going for the same thing. But it got to a point where only noobs was there in the high divisions sweating because AI defending was easier than ever. So when it comes to that, obviously you're going to practice against other people. You want to set up friendlies with other pros, and that's what I mean. You want to stay in the community. You got to set up those friendlies. These are people who are going to be thinking like you. They're going to be trying to prepare for qualifiers, and at the end of the day, you're going to get the best practice against people that are probably better than you or at the same level as you at least, and they're competing. You know, you want to stay on the competitive mentality, which is not easy to, you know, keep a hold of, especially if you do it all the time and you're only playing kind of 1 or 2 games, if you get what I mean. So yeah, guys, until now, let me just quickly recap what I've mentioned. I mentioned, you know, learn the process, stay with the community, practice. And yeah, guys, friendlies before big qualifiers, big tournaments, big matches. You want to practice against pros. There are a lot of ways you can do that. You can set it up. I'm always happy to face people, so you can always DM me on Twitter. My Twitter is down below. Yeah, guys, it's, you know, tweet them, DM them. If you're verified as a phase 1 player minimum, then Lyrics, who's on Twitter, I also follow him. He has a Discord where you can join other phase 1 players, phase 2 players, and practice against them. You know, just ask them, does anyone want a game? And then people are like, yeah, I want a game. and then basically everyone just kind of works together. But yeah guys, it's so that's what I've mentioned so far, and all of this ties in, you know, by knowing the meta you want to practice more because you get better. By practicing more, you get more aware of the meta, you know, you get your formations right, you get your tactics right. And obviously this is all because you're part of the community who also know the process, and then you learn if you get what I mean. It's a kind of cyclical thing. That's why you want to kind of make sure you have all these steps down correctly, guys. The next thing, guys, is mentality, and I think this is the one thing I'm going to spend the most time on. I had a lot of ability, but I didn't have great mentality. FIFA is a game where, and this goes with every esport, it can get frustrating. You know how it is, you know, you concede a stupid goal, you're like, wow, I didn't deserve to concede that, I'm annoyed at EA. That's not the way to go, guys. So many things can happen to you. You don't have time to think about that. I've played in qualifiers where, you know, I kind of, you know, I was losing 3-0, but I came back and it was 3-3. And my opponent could have been annoyed. I could have been annoyed at the first 3 goals. It didn't matter. We had to keep going. You know, and at the end of the day, if you have the better mindset and you don't get yourself in these little petty arguments kind of in your head, then you're going to be way better off than those who get into those arguments. And you know, you could be amazing at FIFA like Tex, but if you're not in the mood to play the game, you're not going to win against some of these players. You're just not. It's just the way the game works. And that's why it's such a difficult esport to make it in. And I'm not speaking as if I made it yet, because guys, I want to make an event. I want to really compete, you know, really be one of the best in the world. And you know, that's the kind of mentality I have, and I can't do that if I'm annoyed at the game every 5 seconds. I just can't. You know, I have to keep myself cool and composed. You know, and the way I do it is because, well, 2 ways. 1, I can always come back, and 2, you know, I could have had the ball earlier. If he scored a stupid goal, well, could I have tackled him earlier? Could I have had, you know, an interception or a clearance or something? Could I have dealt with the ball better, you know, before he actually got into that stupid situation from which he scored? You know, that kind of mentality. Can I always improve? You know, all the top sports people always talk about improvement, practicing, watching game film, and that's the next step. The way you improve these mistakes is by recording yourself and watching it over, especially against top people. It doesn't matter. You won 3-1. Well, yeah, but you conceded 1 goal. Why didn't you get a clean sheet? Were you complacent? Was it stupidity? Was it because the opponent outplayed you? What could you have done better? If you lose 5-0, doesn't matter. You only learn by watching the video. I've lost to one player. I won't mention him, obviously, out of respect. Great player, but I kept losing to him in rivals. I mean, over and over again. But then we got to qualifiers. I beat him 4-0 and over 2 legs, and that was it. And I'm sitting there like, how the hell did I do that? But I kept improving. I watched like 2-3 videos of me facing him, and I cracked his play style. That's what you gotta do, guys. You gotta watch, you know, your gameplay over and over again. It's the most boring part, but it's the way you improve, guys. You won't get better if you don't watch yourself because, oh, it's boring, I'm not bothered. Well, guys, you're not making that extra step that you have to. In terms of anything in the world, if you want to improve, if you want to achieve, you gotta keep pushing yourself to, you know, make up for your mistakes you know, if you're in the same situation in the future. And that's the same thing here. So yeah, guys, that mentality, you know, to keep improving, to keep getting better, to not get annoyed, unless it's to get annoyed with yourself after the game because you know you should have done better. But that's good, that's healthy. Keep working, you know, keep realizing that you could have done better. Sometimes I win 3-1, but I'm just like, man, I could have done better than 3-1, man. 3-1, I could have had the clean sheet, I could have had a 4-0. Like, what could have I done better, guys? That mentality is so key, and they're close to the weekend league as well. Do you know the amount of times I won in the weekend league because my opponent was complacent because he was 2-0 up? Like, 2-0 is nothing, guys. 2-0 is nothing. 3-0 is nothing. I came back from 4-0 this year when in the 16th minute. I've done it. It's possible. And most of the time you won't come back, even if you have an elite mindset. But it doesn't matter, guys, because sometimes you will. And those are the ones that could change your whole, you know, your motivation towards the game and so on. So, you know, every single win is very important. And you have to have that mentality, guys. And, you know, this ties into the last thing I want to mention, and that's game management. Now, game management is one of the most important things. The reason why some pros excel, right? Because right, this is the thing, guys. Let me tell you the truth. Top 100, well done. You've made top 100. That means absolutely nothing, right? I've seen people not reach top 100, and they did amazing in qualifiers. I've even seen people qualify without getting top 100. Then I've seen people, you know, get top 100 every week, but they can't do anything in qualifiers. That's the truth of it, guys. If you can't perform on the stage, you can't perform on the stage. It doesn't matter what you do in the weekend league. The weekend league is the weekend league, if you go. I mean, you can force your way in because you play way too late and you face easy opponents, or you, I don't know, your internet could be lagging a lot, you know, so therefore you can't actually get the win. Sometimes you get disconnected, stuff like that, guys. There's so many factors. The point is, focus on the qualifiers, right? Get yourself in the mood to be ready for the qualifiers rather than the weekend league. If you, of course, you're playing the weekend league to get rewards, to get money. You need that because you need an OP team. But here is the big thing, guys. Game management. The reason why there's a difference between even a phase 1 and a phase 2 player, because I've seen people in phase 1 who couldn't make it, and I've seen people in phase 2 who just walked through it. And the reason is because of the game management. They know how to read the game. If they can see they're being dominated, they slow down the play. Just like in real life football teams do, just slow down the play, pass around more. Right? This doesn't mean aimlessly holding possession like people do, like the Rats do on Weekend League. That's not what we're talking about, guys. What we're talking about is with purpose. Hold the possession because you're trying to slow down the play, but you're looking for avenues. You're looking for opportunities to attack. Down the wing, you know, down the middle, anything, but you're just trying to work out your opponent better. You know, you don't rush your clearances, you don't rush your passes, you know, you're just being patient. And that's another thing. You don't sprint. You only pass where you're looking to. You don't make passes when you know you can't make them. You cover every run when you're defending. You know, these simple things is what pros do, but what they do is they never get the what's his name? Stop doing them, right? There's not one moment where you can catch them not doing it, and if you do, then you better use it because they're not going to do it again, right? It's as simple as. These silly mistakes is not what pros do. Pros keep it compact, pros keep it together, they pass correctly, you know, they keep good possession, and if they're winning, they're holding it. You know, if I'm in the 42nd minute and I'm winning against someone in a qualifier, I am passing around till the 45th minute and then I'm attacking. I'm having the last attack. I'm not giving the ball away. That's a waste. That's a waste, guys. And that's what I'm talking about. It's just that game management. Just keep him cool, keep him calm. You know, getting that first goal is one of the most important things in any sport. Well, football, I should say, a football game. And this is what you should be doing as well. Get that first goal, get that advantage, and then you can dictate the play. If your opponent starts being complacent, it's calm. You're gonna hit him on the counter attack. You have time, right? And that's the thing, guys. Manage your game. Know what you're doing, know your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, and know how to use it against them. And that's part of being a part of the community, what the meta is, and that kind of stuff, guys. As you can see, everything ties in. It's not too many things, right? But the difference between what pros do in comparison to Elite 1 or Elite 2 players or top 100 players, and I'm speaking because I faced top pros, I faced people like Tex, I faced people like that. What they do is they just know what the meta is and just absolutely hammer it home, right? And consistently and efficiently. If they have a chance, they're not going to muck about in front of the goal. They're going to get that goal. You know, if they can pass on an open net, they pass on an open net. No mercy. You have to be ruthless, right? But if you're winning and you know the kind of the flow of the game's going against you, you're holding the ball. You're keeping possession a bit more, but with purpose, not to act like a rat. And also because, you know, if you can see the goal, then it's a bit peak. So, I mean, you know. So yeah, guys, it's simple things, really. Just stay on track with everything. Watch videos. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing out all the top videos, all these kind of top tips that pros use. And guys, honestly, I don't know what else to say. It's just, yeah, guys, if you have any questions, honestly, just DM me on Twitter, comment down below. Commenting is probably better because I get a lot of DMs to do with other things that I'm trying to work out. Guys, just make sure to comment down below. I'm happy to answer anything anyone has. And yeah, guys, and apart from that, if you're going to use this to just kind of go up a level, if you want to go from gold 1 to elite 3, feel free to use it. These tips work for everything, guys. They really do. It's not just, oh, I want to be a pro, so I have to play like this. Guys, if you ever, if you take something more seriously than just, oh, I'm going to get annoyed out of the game, of course you're going to perform better. 2-3 wins, and that's an extra rank. So yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Well, sadly, the demo hasn't come out, and it's not going to come out. So I'm going to have to wait a bit more for the FIFA content. Maybe I'll make some starter squads for you guys, so you can build something at the start of the game, and what to look for in different budgets and stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you stuck with the video till now, honestly, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Please make sure to subscribe. These tips, honestly, this is what can really make or break you guys. I've been there, I've done that, and this year I'm hoping to obviously take it to another level, and that's why I'm going to be doing my Road to Global series, guys. But for now, guys, I hope you have a good day. I hope you stay safe with all the COVID and everything else that's going on in the world, guys. And yeah, stay true to yourself, stay positive, and be humble, guys. Peace.